Hey guys, Marisa at KitchenTableStamper.com. You're joining us in video number 3 of a 4-part series. This is our Just My Type Stamp-A-Stack. This is a 4-design Wonder Recipe card class. We're going to do this thank you card today. If you missed video number 1, we did You Hold the Key to My Heart. In video number 2, we did Hello. Today we'll do thank you, and tomorrow I'll be back with I hope your day is filled with sunshine and rainbows. All right, we have optional class packets for this Stamp-A-Stack while supplies last. You can head over to KitchenTableStamper.com/shop. When you get to the store, you'll sort or filter by product type and look for class packets. See if we've got any of these left in stock. The class packet will make the 8 cards, plus have lots of extra ribbon, embellishments, delightfully eclectic designer series paper, and ephemera left for you to play. All right, let's get started with our thank you card. I'm gonna grab my class packet and pull out my petal pink card bases, and you get your envelopes in the class packet. We've got very vanilla Stampin' Up! Envelopes, and in the envelope you'll find your card base. It's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. We do the basic die cutting for you. All right, so this was actually done ahead of time for you using the decorative circle punch. All right, let's go ahead and work these scores with the bone folder. Now, if you're just joining us, I suggest you use the quick links in the description or below the video if you're watching embedded on the blog, and go back to video number 1, because in video number 1 we cut our designer series paper according to the Wonder recipes. We chose 4 patterns from the delightfully eclectic designer series paper. You get 2 of each pattern in your class packet. And then we cut them according to Wonder Recipe number 16. We modified Wonder Recipe number 16, and we're going to use these bigger pieces that we left uncut for this card. And then we cut the daisies and dots according to Wonder Recipe number 7. We're going to use the daisies and the dots on this pattern. Our 4th piece was the ledger paper, and we're going to hold on to those for our last card. All right, let's set that aside with the blue plaid we've still got waiting for our last design, and let's adhere these designer series papers to our card base. All right, I've got my blue plaid. I'm going to start that as my anchor over here, and we're going to put that with a little wobble all the way up against the side. Now we're going to add these other 2 pieces, leave a little bit of room at the top of these pieces because we're going to slide that little semicircle underneath, but we want to hit that with an embossing folder first for a little bit of texture. You can stamp on that, or you can emboss it like I'm going to do. But either way, leave a little space where you can slide that piece underneath after we get it texture. All right, we've got our designer series paper, and I've got the little decorative circle. I'm going to use my time-worn text embossing folder. You can emboss this with any embossing folder you think looks good, or you can stamp on this with a background stamp. It's your choice. We don't do embossing for you. We don't do stamping or cutting with the featured stamp set or bundle. We just can't do it. It's not physically possible to do this many. We'd have to emboss hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these pieces. It would be crazy, but you can do your choice here. I've got the time-worn text. If you like this folder and you want to pick it up, head over to MarisaAlvarez.stampinup.net, and you can shop Stampin' Ups 24/7. The time-worn text is a 3D embossing folder, so crank it through on the 1 platform, then our folder number 4, and it's going to just add a very subtle texture, and in that texture is some text, so very appropriate for our Just My Type Stamp-A-Stack. It's a good wingman tool for the Just My Type Stamp-A-Stack. All right, let's go ahead and add some liquid glue on the back of this. And we're gonna slide it right in underneath the top edge. There, little pop of color and texture. And there's our second one. If you need to, then add just a little drip of glue. There's our card bases. Let's get our thank you greeting and stamp those on the card. Just My Type is a photopolymer stamp set, so we need a Stampin' Pierce mat and some Memento Tuxedo Black. We're going to stamp directly on the card base, which I think kind of adds to the whimsy of this Stamp-A-Stack. There's our greeting. Oh, we've got the ink pad. Let's do some more stamping. I'm going to grab the Very Vanilla and some crushed curry from the packet. We give you all the cardstock that you need for your stamping. Let's do a little flower. We can bring our sample in here. There we go. Now you're going to stamp one of each for 2 copies of your card. That's what the Wonder Recipe will make, 2 of this card. You're going to need 4 little envelopes. We're going to do our flowers. And let's see if we've got enough room on this scrap for typewriter. I'm going to use my Stamparatus for my typewriter. I really love that dark black impression on the Very Vanilla cardstock, and with Memento ink I feel like you need to stamp, ink stamp, repeat. So ink and stamp, and that way you get that solid image. I did the Misty Moonlight typewriters with just a stamp block. If you've got the archival Stampin' Up! Black ink, that would probably make a nice black impression without having to use a stamp positioner if you don't have a stamp positioner. Or the other ink that makes a really good strong black impression without re-inking and stamping again is VersaFine. So I've got Memento Tuxedo Black here, so the best way to get a really good strong image with that is this ink and repeat technique using a stamp positioner. I like to put the stamp case underneath the plate. That'll give you a solid surface to ink on, solid level surface. And then lift, ink again, and just repeat until you get a dark typewriter that you don't lose detail. You don't want to go so many times or press so hard that you lose the detail on the keys. All right, there's our typewriter. Let's color and then fussy cut our bits. All right, for this one, I've got the light Lost Lagoon and dark Petal Pink. I'm gonna do my leaves dark, or with the Lost Lagoon, the light Lost Lagoon. And then I'm going to do my flowers with the dark Petal Pink. I'm keeping the coloring very simple. And since the leaves are green anyways, I chose this light Lost Lagoon because our embellishments are the festive pearls and they have a nice light green pearl, so it makes a perfect complement. All right, well, we're gonna cut these guys out. Just fussy cut with a little border of Very Vanilla. If you're new to Stamp-A-Stacks, one of the things that I recommend if you're doing the Stamp-A-Stack, if you're gonna do all 8 cards using the Wonder Recipe, I recommend that you do all your stamping. So stamp all your typewriters, stamp all your flowers, stamp all your daisies and envelopes. After everything's stamped for every card, then cut them all out. It really does, batch working these really does make a difference. Okay, we're cutting out our flowers for the typewriter and we're just about to the end. What we want to do here is cut down from the stem and then across the bottom, leaving a space where you can glue. And we're going to assemble the typewriters and flowers, make them one piece. I'm going to just add a little bead of glue on that space that we left, and then pop them right in the typewriter. There's our flowery typewriters. Aren't they cute? I love this stamp set, and I think it's perfect for any occasion cards. Let's get our card bases back in here, and we're going to choose our ephemera next. You have all the ephemera from this pack. There's 5 sheets and you can choose whichever you like. I've got this big irregular hexagon here. That's what I used on both of these. And I like the way it turned out. So I'm going to go ahead and pull one of these for each of my cards. You can hold on to these little pieces that you're pulling out. Use those frames for another project. Each one also needs leaves. So I'm going to pull off these sprigs that have kind of berries and leaves, one for each. Now what I like to do with this ephemera is use the glue from other elements to hold it down. The gold does not take kindly to fingerprints, so we're going to use a little extra glue on our typewriter element and use that extra glue to secure the ephemera. So we're going to add the ephemera where we want it, and then the typewriter with its flowers, and that glue will sandwich and hold the ephemera. For the leaves, we're going to use mini glue dots. Got my mini glue dots, and I'm going to put these base of these leaves right on a dot, and then we're going to tuck it right next to the typewriter. So just lift the corner a little bit, make sure it doesn't cover your greeting, and pop on the leaves. Our next embellishment is the cotton ribbon, and you're going to tie a little bow with the cotton ribbon. And then trim away from the spool. Gonna adhere them with glue dots. So I got them on the little glue dot and just pop it on. Kind of at the base of the sprig here. See, each one's a little bit different. This one's up a little higher to keep it off the greeting. It's all good. The different ephemera is going to mean a little slightly different placement for your elements, and each card's going to have its own unique flair. Now we're going to add our envelopes. Got them with mini dimensionals. And last we'll do our little flower. Got that little daisy that we cut, what I like to do for the sky is add a bit of dimensional above the bow. Grab a mini glue dot and add that on the side of the flower, so off center. Then we're going to remove the backing on the dimensional, put the glue dot on the bow, and the dimensional will support the rest of the flower. And the last step is embellishments. You got a half a pack of these gorgeous festive pearls. I love the light green ones for this particular design because we've got those light green leaves. And also the gold and silver work fantastic. Mix them up and match them as you go along, and put up to 5 pearls for each card. Now you will have all the red ones left over even if you put 5 pearls per card, and those are definitely going to be handy when we get into Valentine's Day or Christmas crafting. But I'm sticking to the gold, the green, and the silver for this project. All of them look really fantastic. All right, so we've got our pearls, and there is card number 3. Thank you. In the kitchen table stamper, just my type Stamp-A-Stack. All right, you guys, if you've got any questions about the project, email Marisa at kitchentablestamper.com to search for a class packet. See if we've got one still available. kitchentablestamper.com/shop. And then when you're in the store, if you're on a mobile device, you'll scroll down to the bottom and filter for class packets. If you're looking at it from a desktop or a laptop computer, on the right sidebar, you'll see a filter for class packets, and you'll be able to see if we have just my type and any other Stamp-A-Stack class packets that we still have in stock. I'll see you guys in video number 4, where we'll make Hope Your Day is Filled with Sunshine and Rainbows. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.